We would like to invite Director Professor Lee Sing Kong on stage to give the opening speech.
Thank you very much, Pratima. Well, colleagues, a very good morning to one and all. As one grows older, learning, it is the wise saying, say that even as you grow older, learning never stops. And I have learned over the years, especially in the last 1 year, what it means by the word apps. This was never in my vocabulary, before. But then now, whenever I converse with visitors and all those, I seem to be very knowledgeable about what's apps. Well, NIE, as I mentioned, must be in the forefront of developing learning, tools for learning. And as part of the TE21 initiatives, Teacher Education Model for the 21st Century, we must ensure that in whatever we do and apply, we must always be in that forefront. What does it mean to be in the forefront? It just means that whatever NIE is doing, we must always be in a position that is relevant to the needs of the education landscape today. That whatever we impart to teachers as teacher educators, that whatever the teachers are able to acquire in terms of the skills, knowledge, and understanding, must always be relevant to the learning profiles of students in the schools. Unless NIE's teachers are equipped with expertise and understanding on how to be relevant in terms of the learning profile of students in the school, then NIE will have to relook at ourselves very seriously whether we are doing the adequate job or not. So this morning I'm very happy to be here to open this e-Fiesta, especially with the theme of mobile learning. I have been first introduced to mobile learning in Nanchao Primary School through the work of Professor Lui Chiki down there. And I was quite thrilled to see young people of today with new pedagogical tools like PDAs and smartphones being able not just to learn in the classroom, but seamlessly as they go home, walk along the road and on a journey home, or even with a journey to the school, they are able to continue their learning. They are able to continue their reflection on what is being taught in the classroom. So when I saw that, I told myself, I'm actually quite far ahead in terms of the way I teach, except that I don't use technology. I remember in the days of Bukit Timah, in the afternoon, when I gave a lecture on ecology, the principles of ecology, especially in the areas applying to plants. What do plants need in terms of survival? Why, below a park bench in the park, there's no grass underneath. I asked a lot of these questions relating it to ecological principles. Then I also practiced mobile learning. You know what I did? I don't have, at that time there's no PDA, it's not even existed, it didn't exist. So I told the students, after this, you are going to go home, right? when you walk from the lecture theatre to the bus stop in Bukit Timah Road, you're going to pass the Botanic Garden extension on the side, right? You're going to see a lot of trees and all those with epiphytes and all those growing in the crowns of the trees and so on. As you walk, reflect on what I taught you this afternoon and apply the principles to every occasions, or incidences that you see along the way. See, learning while walking. Mobile learning, right? Yeah. So it is so important, that students must continue to learn. And because the following week, when I meet up with a student again, they are full of questions, asking me why this is that and that is that. They are observed, and in fact, I become the one to do all the answers and they ask all the questions. And that is what engagement in learning and teaching is all about. Enthusing the students as they learn, in the whole process of learning. Of course, time has changed. Today, if I ask someone to walk along the road and see, and then reflect, they'll say they'll forget very easily. But if they have a PDA, they can key in all their observations. They can, even include their reflections and application of knowledge. We have to keep abreast with the time. NIE must keep abreast with the time. That's why I said that we must continue to understand, especially through the work of LSL, understand the learning process of our students of today, the digital learners. Un Sing always called them the epic learners, one who loves to be experiential, participatory, imagery, and connectedness. Epic learners. Their learning is very difficult. If today I talk to those students, say, walking from the lecture theatre to the bus stop and see and do this and that, they'll turn around, where is my iPad, where is my, PDA that I can use as part of that learning. So we must adopt the enabling powers of technology to be able to incorporate them into the teaching and learning such that our students can learn better. There will be more impactful learning outcomes so that they can be encouraged to take ownership of their learning, self-directed in their learning, self-motivated in their learning. And if we can do that, we will be fulfilling one of the desired outcomes of education in the 21st century, to be a confident person. A person that can think for himself, learn for himself, apply for himself, and adapt to the environment where he or she is in. And the next thing I came out to ask, actually, the LSL colleagues. Yeah, we have now all this beautiful tools that we have developed. But they are just only for one school. And we have invested a lot of money in terms of the R&D in coming out with that product. How can we ensure that this is more widely enjoyed and utilized by our student fraternity? See, at that time, when I talked to them, I still don't know things about the apps. I only know about the apps when the ACIS very kindly gave me an iPhone some 2 years ago. The iPhone 3. Now I know it's outdated, but at that time, so precious to me, I even cover it, to protect it from any scratches and all those. Then on the iPhone 3, there's this WhatsApps. Games and all those. So there, I begin to discuss with my LSS colleague. Here there is already an opportunity for you to really, expand the benefits of your research. And I believe they have now developed the WhatsApps, right, in the area of mobile learning. I don't know whether they have put it on for public domain, I don't know, but they are already developing that, so that the benefits of their work will not just be for the students at Nanchao Primary School, but then can be broadened to all others. You see, friends, today the world has changed. How we communicate, how we transfer knowledge, how we enthuse our learners, it has moved from one era to another. The days of my mobile learning is no more applicable today. Today is very, very different, what it means to call mobile learning. So I like to encourage every colleague of mine in NIE to take cognizance of the opportunities, to take cognizance of the new opportunities that new technology can offer, and to take cognizance that there is also an evolutionary process of learning in our new digital learners in the schools. So we must keep abreast with the time. Only when we can keep ourselves abreast with the time can we then be able to educate our teachers to be relevant with the time. We have to set as a role model. We have to open new grounds. We have to open new windows for our student teachers to understand the possibilities, so that they will be relevant to their students in the schools. So indeed, I'm just so happy that the theme of this year's e-Fiesta is on mobile learning. It's a new opportunity that is now being talked about in schools, and students and teachers are very much now in a position to embrace this. I won't even call it new form of learning. It's another form of learning, because this is already not new. You know, there are so many things that have already been applied. Okay? And this fits into our TE21 initiative very much. Because in TE21 initiative, we are talking about building a repertoire of new pedagogical tools. A repertoire of pedagogical tools that can address the learning needs of different profiles of students in the schools. You see, some of these tools, I can tell you very honestly, it may not enthuse those who are very academically inclined. Those who are very academically inclined can do without this tool, can learn without these tools. But this is especially good, you know, for the less academically inclined, where they can use their hands, they can participate and engage in the process, and as an outcome, they learn well. So I want to congratulate Ashley and his team, you know, led by Philip, you know, in thinking up of this theme for this year, and to expose our colleagues in NIE to the understanding of the new forms of learning that is available today that they can use, that our students in the schools can be engaged in. Today, you know, the PDAs and the smartphones, the cost is coming down. You know, we must never be hindered by the fact that, you know, sometimes we always think that cost of the instrument is going to be very expensive and be a hindering factor. The answer is no. You know, with the advancement of technology, something will come down tremendously. You know, just take for example, when we first developed our collaborative learning classroom, the LCDs and all those that we have fit into the classroom, the total cost of revamping one classroom of that nature at that time exceeds 30,000. And just a year later, it's only 25,000. And I believe now, if we go in and redevelop some of the classroom, the cost will be very, very much lower. Which area the cost has come down? LCDs. When we first have the LCD TV, you know, it starts off with 6,000, 7,000, a range that is beyond our what you call means, you know. But by the time I jump into the market, you know, it's only about 2,000 over for the same model that costs, even now down, yeah, maybe I jump in too early. Yeah, I should have waited. Yeah. So, things will change. Never be hindered by thoughts of this obstacle or that obstacle and so on. A lot of this obstacle will become non-existent with the progress of time. So dare to dream, dare to move into new domains, and dare to do new things. Because unless educators in NIE, who are the educators of the 21st century, dare to take this risk and dare to take this courage to move forward and do new things, I think our teachers will not have a good future. They will only have a good future when you and I take the lead to encourage them to change as well. So I wish you all the best today as you attend the various sessions. You know, ask a lot of questions and look for new opportunities. Always reflect back on how you, as a teacher educator, can make use of this opportunity, of this new knowledge and new developments to enhance your training of the teachers of the 21st century. Thank you very much.